Welcome once again to your weekly update from the City of New Hope, joined by a special guest today filling in for the mayor. It's Councilmember John Elder. Welcome, John. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you, Dave. How are you?
Very good. Thanks for taking a few minutes for us. We've got a lot to talk about, as we do each week, of what's going on in the City of New Hope. Let's begin talking about homes in the City of New Hope, something we track on a regular basis called monthly single-family conversions to rental. Again, explain what that is for residents and what are the numbers telling you?
Well, in August, there were 3 single-family homes that converted from owner-occupied to rental, and 1 single-family home that converted from rental back to owner-occupied. Year to date, 19 properties have converted from owner-occupied to rental, and 5 properties have converted from rental back to owner-occupied.
All right, so something the city keeps an eye on. They also keep an eye on scattered site housing throughout the city. We update you on some of the properties. First is 49th and Winnetka. A lot of activity there, and it looks like, council member, a lot of activity with the trees.
Yeah, as we prepare the lot for building, there will be some trees that are removed. We're working closely with Xcel Energy because some of the trees are deeply intertwined within the lines. So we're working with them to see what needs to be taken down and to make sure it's done safely. And we will continue to work with them as well as prepping that property for sale to a builder.
And speaking of sales of properties, head over to 53rd and Rhode Island, and some great news for the city, another sale of another home.
Yeah, that home just sold for $550,000. That is the second highest home sale we've had for our scattered site housing project. And just so people understand what this does, is that home was valued and taxed at $252,000 last year. Tax rolls now will be supplemented with a home that's actually just about about twice the price.
This is community development area. Also, another thing they do is stay connected with businesses in the city through the business networking group. They've got a meeting coming up. Give us a quick preview.
New Hope and Crystal share a business networking group, and they're a very active group. I got to attend their last meeting. They work on things that can help bring businesses together as well as benefit the city. And the next meeting is going to be October 4th at 8:30 a.m. at Thrivent Financial, located at 9220 Bass Lake Road.
Hope residents and business owners can stop by. Let's move ahead to permits and inspections and talk about busy work during the month of August. This is the department. Councilmember Elder, tell us about some of the work that was done.
It is a small group of people, and the amount of work product that they're pushing through is truly remarkable. In the month of August, they did 495 inspections. They issued 183 permits, and that will cover over $3 million in improvement to homes and businesses.
So busy department and some busy homeowners in the city of New Hope doing a lot of work or planning a lot of work coming up here in the next few months. To the police department we go, and something we wanted to note is a lot of the work that the police department does with other agencies. Explain why that happens and why that's so important.
Well, we have a number of smaller departments, Crystal, New Hope, Robbinsdale, where you want to run programs, yet any one department spearheading a program, it can really run down their assets and their availability. So our administration at New Hope works very closely with the administration of Crystal and Robbinsdale, Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park, Plymouth, Maple Grove, and they work on initiatives and task forces, things like that, so that we're all able to benefit from a group as a whole.
One other update from the police department close to home, the community service officer still out there delivering meals. So again, great way to be engaged with the community.
Absolutely. They do a remarkable job with that.
Let's move ahead to Public Works, a department that's very busy as the seasons begin to change here. We want to list some of the things that are happening, and they've been busy in some of the parks. What has some of the repair work been there?
Yeah, again, a smaller group of individuals, but the amount of work they're putting out is remarkable. And they do things that people don't think of or don't see. But some of the things you may see, where they replaced a damaged basketball hoop at Hidden Valley Park. They replaced the internal parts for the drinking fountain at Civic Park. And interestingly, they removed the sand from New Hope Bowl and hauled it back to our shop. What we've done for a number of years, New Hope Bowl brings in all the sand for their sand volleyball league. And at the end of the season, they can't save it till next year. Mm-hmm. So we go in, New Hope Public Works folks go in, scoop it all up, sweep the lot, and they bring it back to their shops where we can then use that sand to put down on streets in the winter. It's a great partnership, and we appreciate their kindness.
All right, neat to see businesses and cities working together like that.
Absolutely, and they've been great for many, many years. Public Works is continuing to flush and jet out the hydrants, and they are replacing grates and manhole covers in the area of the seal coat projects. That's to help us reduce our I&I, which is inflow and infiltration.
And along with that work out in the city, this group also does a lot of work on the management end to just try to make sure projects stay on task. Tell us a little bit about that and some of the partners they work with to make sure things get done.
Absolutely. They continue having at least weekly progress meetings with Northwest Asphalt, who's doing our pavement replacement in the city this year. Then they're also meeting and working with the Minnesota Department of Transportation for the 169 County Road 9 project. Now that project was behind schedule, but they were able to work some nights and weekends, and they're all caught up, and they're hoping to have that, well, they're hoping to meet the goal of the late fall opening of that entire intersection. And so far, it looks like they're going to do it.
Very good. Let's give residents an update on the street reconstruction. That project happens throughout the summer in certain neighborhoods. What stage are they at right now?
Well, they're doing a great job. They're doing general cleanup and boulevard restoration. That includes the application of blow mulch. So residents will need to stay on top of making sure that area is watered and that grass grows. And the final layer of asphalt will be paved on all project streets in late September.
All right, let's move down a little bit towards 42nd and Boone, 42nd and Gettysburg, area that a lot of residents are looking at going. Hopefully soon it will be open. Give us an update. There's been a few complications under the ground, I understand.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating for everybody. Mm-hmm. And some of the infrastructure underneath the streets through the different contractors, that intersection was hoping to be opened by the 1st of September. And now they are aiming for the end of September to hopefully have that opened up. But we understand that's frustrating for people that, live and travel through that area.
Thanks to the patience of all residents for putting up with that for a little bit longer here. Let's go to Park and Rec, talk about some of the fun things happening in the city that are coming up. We've got some new classes, new leagues that are in action now. What's the variety?
Yeah, last week they started the new classes, piano lessons, Zumba classes, and the bocce ball league for adults. Youth gymnastics also started, and that continues to be a program that is strong and well utilized by the residents.
Along with programs, they're also busy doing some cleanup work here in the fall and some work out in some of the parks. Talk about lights at one field and then trees throughout the city, an ongoing project, it seems.
Yeah, the lighted baseball field is currently having all of its old fencing taken down, and the grounds are being prepared for new fencing. We continue to work at Dorothy Mary Park, removing hazardous and diseased trees. We received a DNR grant for $35,000 for the removal and replacement of infested ash trees. This season has been really tough on turf, and our weed inspections has been busier than ever. And so that team is working obviously with the Emerald Ash Borer teams, and they continue to address challenges and issues as they're coming up.
Let's hop around three of the big park facilities in the city to give you some updates of activities that are going on or some that are wrapping things up. The first is the golf course. Still a lot of time to get out there and golf, and also it looks like time for people to have special events.
Absolutely. The Cobra baseball golf outing last Saturday was a big success. A lot of people came out. Great use of the program. The fall adult leagues have started, and at the course, we're continuing to address turf and landscape maintenance. That just continues. As I said, it's been a tough year.
Yep, has been all around. Let's hop over to the ice arena. Busy activity there with the season getting started and lots of leagues and tryouts and things happening. But you wanted to mention a little bit about the common skating for anyone. Just stop by and skate at some special times.
Absolutely. They have open skating from 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Fridays and Sundays. I'm sorry, 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Fridays and 4 to 6 on Sundays. And there is skate rentals available. Love to see a lot of people turning out for this to use the amenity that we have here in New Hope. It's getting a lot of great use.
Final point is the aquatic park. That is the one that is wrapping up, obviously, for the season. What does the cleanup work like? And I understand you have some total numbers now, which are very impressive.
Absolutely. The aquatic park staff are working on cleaning up the bathhouse, the mechanical buildings, and removing and storing all of the canopies. Staff is also working on addressing the turf area that gets an awful lot of foot traffic over the year. Now, our numbers this year, we just got them, very impressive. We had 55,181 open swim passes sold this year. That's 5,800 more than last year. And that's not taking into account the water walkers, the swimming lessons, or any of the meets that were held at that facility. So we have had an incredible number of people choose to use our pool this year, and we're ecstatic about it. I mean, that's the whole reason it was put in.
Certainly a hub of summer activity, and the hot weather didn't hurt at all, I would have to guess, this year as well. Couple of final notes to pass along, something about back to school and driving, a friendly reminder for residents, and a video piece was put out recently. Why is this so important at this time of the year?
CCX did a wonderful job reminding drivers to be vigilant during the back to school. People become more lax, certainly in school zones during the summer. Kids aren't there. Now kids are there, and we need to reduce our speeds and really be looking for where children are at. And the police departments are really focusing on those areas for enforcement and high visibility, just for everyone's safety.
And one final note to pass along, you as a council member love to hear from the residents, and the city loves to hear from them on an ongoing basis. And here's a neat tool to do that, the City Services Survey. Again, remind us what that is, and there's a deadline coming up.
There is, thank you. The City Services Survey is available on the city website, or a hard copy is available at City Hall. And this lets residents tell the council, tell the city what's important to them and how are we doing. It's great to hear from people. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of people that come to our council meetings. And despite the fact that I get multiple calls every week from residents and emails, we'd like to hear from more people. Tell us how things are going. What would you like to see? Do you have a question? When I was out campaigning, I had some people ask me a myriad of questions, and I didn't always have the answer, but I always got back to them. And it's great. It's a great tool for people to let the city and the council know how we're doing.
And a great tool to find that survey and to find all this information that we've been talking about is on the city's website, newhopemn.gov/survey, to find that survey. And another great tool is the In Motion. We've got it right here. Lots of the activities in the city are right here in this booklet. We're going to give you some events that are coming up in the very near future, and some relate to that guide that you can find out more. Councilmember Elder, thank you so much again for your time today and the update. I look forward to see you again soon.
Thank you so much, sir. Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.